Hi guys, welcome to Dragon's Cave. My name's Karen and welcome to another Froggy Friday with myself, Lisa Girl in the Garage, Loula from Nerd Goblin Art, Tim Watkins, the Bass Resonator, and many guests, hopefully. So today's frog is one I've been planning to do for ages. Got two different molds here because I'm not entirely sure which one is going to work best. I mean, if you've seen the thumbnail, you'll know it's Elton John or Elton Frog. So, because I want them to be white, or mainly white, I'll have to paint the green faces and things on later, but I'm going to do these in aqua resin, and I'm not going to add any colour into it because, as I said, it needs to be mainly white, and it's easier to paint a green face than it is to paint the whole body white. So I'm going to go measure up my powders and the water, and I will be right back. See you in a sec. Okay, I've got 300 grams of aqua resin powder here and 90 grams of water. So again, this is going to be difficult because I totally forgot to buy myself a new whisk after I destroyed the last one. It does mix up nice and quickly. It stays nice and bright white. So this time of year, as it's cooler in my garage, it does give me an extra minute or two working time compared to the summer when it's like starting to set within 2 or 3 minutes. I think it's supposed to be something like 5 minutes working time. Which is pretty decent, I think. See, I was so much more careful putting the water in this time, and it's gone slightly lumpy, where normally I just sling the water in one go, and I don't have any issues like this at all. Just need to make sure that there are no lumps in there, so pushing it up against the side. Yep, there's still quite a few lumps. And of course, as I've said before, as it's powder, you can't really use alcohol or anything to get rid of the bubbles. Although when the temperature is right and it's allowed to set at its proper speed instead of getting sped up by being too warm, the bubbles do tend to rise pretty well. The gas is pretty well on its own. Unless, of course, it's too hot and it doesn't have time for that to happen. So that looks pretty well mixed now. Pop this on my tissue there. And I'm probably going to go with this mold, so I'm going to fill this one first in case I don't have quite enough. Oh, I'm going to have way more than I need. That's okay. Molds on standby as always. I'm going to give it a good squish. Make sure I don't trap any bubbles in the detail parts. Yeah, the mold is quite a lot smaller than I thought it was. That's okay. Let's get this one done. Give it a good jiggle and tap. So the bubbles can rise to the surface. fill this one off. And pop this into the other mould that I have at the side here. I'm going to stand this mould in a cup because it looks like it's going to tip over. And that would not be the first time if I'd fall from it. Okay, so I am going to wiggle, tap, and then pop these to one side, and we will be back for the demold. See you very soon. Bye. Hey guys, these are set now, so I'm going to get them out of the mould, and then I can decide which one is best to make Elton from. Trying to ease it away. I don't want to break anything. Oh, I think he's cute. Or is it she? Maybe. He used to have boobs. But that's okay. Yeah, one or two tiny little bubbles, but it actually came out really well. The only one I can really see is just under the finger here. Yeah, happy. Happy. And let's see how this one fared, because this one's a lot more detailed. Again, a nice soft squishy mould. Ooh. Oh dear. Okay, so he didn't do quite so well. He's got an awful lot of bubbles. Yeah, I think, pretty sure I'm going to go with this one. But I need to give them some time to properly set before I start messing about with them. But this is the extra that I poured. Would have liked to put some colour in it, but I didn't really have time before it went off. So it's a little honey pot. And the lid is a little teddy bear. So teddy bear sits in the pot, which is very, very cute. I mean, I don't know what you'd actually put in there because that takes up the entire space in the jar, so it's not really a jar for keeping things in. It's more of a ornament, I suppose. Didn't do too badly on bubbles. Did get a few in the words there, and one or two at the edge of the honey, but otherwise did pretty well. So there we go. I will be back tomorrow for me, possibly, or in a few seconds for you. Bye. Hey guys, welcome back. He's completely cured now, so I'm gonna crack on with some painting. Oh, too much on that. This one's a bit too bright, and that one's way too dark, so I'm gonna mix the two a little bit. Should be better. Just use scraps of silicone to mix my paints on. All the silicone mats I've killed over the last couple of years. Chop them up. Sorry, completely out of shot. I'm sitting down, so I didn't realise that you couldn't actually see what I was doing. So I'm just going to paint his head and his hands and feet. I will go over the body with coat of white. Now, I didn't seal this beforehand because I wanted the ink paints to kind of soak in reasonably well. And this particular one, he's Going to be flashing a little chest. It down there. I will very likely do 2 coats on this just to make sure it's properly covered. Mix up enough paint there. Okay, let's get a bit more of the light. Otherwise, it's going to be very. Ooh, I said a bit. See, this is what happens when I try and rush things. I make a mess. Close enough. I need to be getting 2 coats anyway, so if I've messed up the colour matching on this coat, I can fix it with the top coat. And I have got smaller brushes so that I can get the edges a lot neater. Wanted to get the main part done quite quickly. See, sometimes I'm like a couple of weeks ahead on videos. At the moment, I'm playing catch up. This video is actually due to go out tomorrow, and there's still quite a lot to be done. Let's just switch to a smaller brush. Oh, look at the mess I'm making. Grief. In there. Balance anyway. You doing a very good job here. Well, having said that, I'm probably a lot neater than I normally am. Maybe my painting skills are improving slightly. Or maybe my eyesight's getting so bad I can't see what a mess I'm making. Either of those is equally possible. So I'm going to finish off painting that to get the second coat on, and I will come back when we're ready for the next part. See you in a bit. Hear me now? I just remembered to switch my mic on. Well, I've got some glue and I'm going to pop some glitter into it. This is going to be the really fiddly bit. Of course, that depends on me actually being able to get the lid off the glitter. Oops. Uh-oh. So I'm using mostly this sparkly white I want to put a little bit of holographic glitter in there, but I just realised I haven't opened this bag. Luckily, because I don't have gloves on, I could actually get the bag opened this time. She says, not being able to open the bag. Oh, come on. There we go. At last. I'm not going to put too much of this in because it's a mix of large and small pieces. Get that all mixed in with the glue. Because I put too much white in there, I'm going to have to put quite a bit more glue in. I did think of doing this in UV, and if this doesn't work, then I will actually get rid of this heap and do that instead. You know what it's like, plans change. I think this is going to be far too thick and gloopy to do what I want to do with it. I don't think that's going to work. Let's try it on something else. I'll glue on my fingers now. I'm just going to test it on this to see. No, I'm not going to be able to make that do what I want to do. Too thick, too gloopy. Okay, plan B. Let's put that to one side. Grab the other pot and get the UV resin. Dark outside now, so that should help. And I'm thinking maybe I will just go with the silver rather than put any of the white in it. Let's see how that goes. I think this will actually do better than my original plan. I may just put a smidge of the white in there though, because it's not exactly how I want it to be. So just going to put a little bit of this in. If I can manage a little bit rather than the huge pile I put in the last one. Okay, that's better. Get that well mixed in. And let's see how neatly or otherwise I can get this put on, because this is actually going to be the lapels of his jacket. Would be better. It looks okay. I may have to do 2 layers, but see how we get on. I'm going to use my nail tool for this, so I can try and get it as neat as possible. I'll get it on the front part here, then I'll cure that before I go on to the next bit. It's going to be right on the edge of the jacket. Draw myself a little line, then I know where to follow. Yeah, I've got this side down quite a bit further, but it'll be fine. So I'll get that cured up, and I'm going to also do actually like the cuffs of the jacket, because that will help join it together. Yep. So I'll get this cured up and carry on painting. I may just leave the camera on and just fast forward this bit for you. Okay, I'm going to cure that up now. Move this out of the way a bit light. And then I'll do the same on the back. Oops, sorry, you're not in shot there at all. I don't know how much of that you've actually seen. So yeah, it's going to be the collar, the cuffs of the jacket. I'm going to cure this up, then I'll do the back, and I will be back with you very shortly. Bye. Yay, we're on the home stretch. Now I've got some feathers, and I'm going to pop a little bit of UV on there. Probably should have just used glue for this part, but go me. My stick. Right, and this is going to be the awkward bit, is actually trying to get the feathers to stick where I want them to stick. Tempting to recreate a particular outfit, obviously, but it's going to be quite difficult. Far more difficult than I'd anticipated. Some extra bits of feather here that I trimmed off the other part. Oh, there you go. And I'm going to have to trim that down. It's a bit too long. But that's okay. Feathers, which is what was important. Okay, so hopefully you can see the feathers on there. I'm going to cure that up, do the same the other side, and we'll be back for the final part. See you in a sec.